The world today is louder than ever, filled with constant chatter, endless notifications, and an overwhelming barrage of opinions. For those who embrace Stoicism, this noise can be a barrier to true peace and inner clarity. In this video, we'll explore 10 reasons why stepping away from the noise is not only beneficial, but essential for living a life aligned with Stoic principles. Reason number 1, reduces external distractions. In the age of information, distractions are everywhere. Social media notifications, endless news cycles, advertisements, and societal pressures pull our focus in every direction. This constant barrage not only fragments our attention, but also disconnects us from the Stoic principle of living in accordance with reason and nature. To achieve the tranquility that Stoicism advocates, reducing external distractions is not just beneficial, it is essential. The Stoic perspective on distractions. The Stoics, such as Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, and Seneca, emphasize the importance of inner control over external influences. They recognize that distractions weaken our ability to focus on what truly matters, our thoughts, actions, and virtues. Epictetus reminds us, if you wish to improve, be content to appear clueless or stupid in extraneous matters. This advice highlights the necessity of ignoring trivial distractions that do not contribute to our inner development. For the Stoic, distractions are not inherently evil, but they become problematic when they prevent us from cultivating a virtuous life. By reducing distractions, we protect our ability to reason clearly and prioritize wisely. How distractions affect the mind. Constant exposure to distractions has a measurable impact on the mind. Modern neuroscience tells us that multitasking and information overload impair cognitive function and increase stress. While the Stoics didn't have access to these scientific findings, their teachings align closely with these insights. Marcus Aurelius advises in Meditations, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. By allowing external distractions to dominate, we relinquish control over our thoughts and actions. Disappearing from the noise, even temporarily, helps us reclaim that power and refocus on what is meaningful. Practical steps to reduce distractions. Limit media consumption. Seneca warned against overindulging in public spectacles, comparing them to distractions that corrupt the soul. In modern terms, this could mean minimizing time spent on social media or avoiding excessive news consumption. Focus instead on sources that align with your values and provide meaningful insight. Practice digital minimalism. Set boundaries for technology use. Disable unnecessary notifications, schedule time for focused work, and create intentional moments of silence. These small changes echo the Stoic idea of voluntary discomfort, deliberately choosing what is challenging but beneficial. Simplify your environment. A cluttered environment often mirrors a cluttered mind. The Stoics believed in simplicity as a way to focus on what truly matters. Reducing physical distractions in your workspace or living area creates a mental clarity that aligns with Stoic principles. Cultivate stillness. The Stoics often practiced periods of stillness and solitude. This could be as simple as taking a walk in nature or spending time journaling. These moments help disconnect from the noise and reconnect with your inner self, focusing on what matters. The ultimate goal of reducing external distractions is to redirect your attention to what truly matters: your thoughts, actions, and the development of your character. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminds us to focus on our own rational mind and disregard the opinions of others. By stepping away from the distractions of the external world, we create space to cultivate our virtues, align with our purpose, and achieve the inner peace that Stoicism offers. Reducing external distractions is more than just a productivity hack. It's a practice deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy. When we limit our exposure to the noise of the outside world, we protect our ability to think clearly, act virtuously, and live intentionally. The Stoics teach us that peace is found not in the absence of challenges, but in the discipline to focus on what truly matters amidst the chaos. By simplifying our lives and stepping away from distractions, we take the first step toward the tranquility that every Stoic seeks. Reason number 2 enhances mental clarity. The importance of mental clarity in Stoicism. Mental clarity lies at the heart of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that a clear and rational mind is essential for living a virtuous life. Marcus Aurelius, in Meditations, writes, "Be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands unmoved, and the raging of the sea falls still around it." This metaphor beautifully captures the Stoic ideal. Amidst the chaos of life, a clear mind remains steady and focused, allowing us to navigate challenges with wisdom and composure. When our minds are clouded by noise, whether from distractions, emotions, or external pressures, we lose the ability to think clearly and act rationally. Enhancing mental clarity, therefore, is not just a luxury but a necessity for living according to Stoic principles. How noise obstructs mental clarity. The constant bombardment of modern life. Emails, notifications, advertisements, and endless to-do lists creates mental clutter. This noise prevents us from thinking deeply, reflecting on our values, or making sound decisions. Seneca, in his essay on tranquility of mind, warns against overloading ourselves with tasks and distractions, stating, "You must withdraw yourself from distractions and concentrate your mind on some one thing." Without mental clarity, we are more likely to react impulsively, make poor decisions, or lose sight of what is within our control. The Stoics teach us that by stepping away from the noise, we can begin to clear the fog of distraction and regain a sense of focus. The role of rationality in Stoicism. Rationality is the foundation of Stoic thought. Epictetus frequently emphasizes the importance of using reason to guide our actions and judgments. A cluttered mind, however, cannot engage in rational thought. To achieve clarity, we must remove the obstacles that hinder our ability to think. Mental clarity enables us to distinguish between what is in our power and what is not, a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. It allows us to assess situations calmly, without being swept away by emotions or external influences. As Marcus Aurelius advises, you have the power to strip away many superfluous troubles located wholly in your judgment, and to possess a large room for yourself. Embrace this power. Steps to enhance mental clarity through Stoic practices. Practice journaling. The Stoics often recommended writing as a way to clarify thoughts. Marcus Aurelius used journaling to reflect on his day, evaluate his actions, and remind himself of Stoic principles. Writing down your thoughts helps organize them, making it easier to identify what truly matters. Engage in mindful reflection. Set aside time each day to reflect on your experiences. Ask yourself, what is within my control? How can I respond virtuously to challenges? This practice aligns with the Stoic idea of intentional self-examination and helps refine your mental focus. Limit cognitive overload. Seneca reminds us to be selective about how we spend our energy. Avoid spreading yourself too thin by taking on too many commitments or consuming excessive information. Instead, prioritize tasks and knowledge that align with your values and goals. Embrace solitude. Solitude is a powerful tool for mental clarity. The Stoics valued moments of stillness to reconnect with their inner selves. Spending time alone, without distractions, provides the mental space needed to process thoughts and make reasoned decisions. Focus on the present moment. A lack of mental clarity often arises from dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Stoicism teaches us to focus on the present, where our power lies. As Marcus Aurelius advises, confine yourself to the present. This focus helps simplify our thoughts and sharpen our awareness. The benefits of a clear mind. When the mind is clear, we can better align our actions with our values. A clear mind enhances our ability to approach challenges with equanimity, maintain emotional resilience, and make decisions that reflect our principles. It also fosters a sense of calm and purpose, as we are no longer overwhelmed by external pressures or internal chaos. The Stoics understood that mental clarity is not about eliminating all thoughts, but about cultivating the right ones, those rooted in reason, virtue, and what we can control. By embracing this clarity, we move closer to the Stoic ideal of living a life of wisdom and tranquility. Enhancing mental clarity is a cornerstone of Stoic practice. By reducing noise, reflecting on our thoughts, and focusing on reason, we create a mental environment that supports wise decision-making and inner peace. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Let us strive to clear our minds of unnecessary distractions and embrace the clarity that Stoicism offers, enabling us to live with greater purpose and peace. Reason number 3 encourages self-mastery. Self-mastery is at the heart of Stoic philosophy. It refers to the ability to govern your thoughts, emotions, and actions with reason and discipline, rather than being ruled by impulses or external events. Epictetus reminds us, no man is free who is not master of himself. For the Stoics, true freedom lies in mastering oneself, as it allows us to live according to our values and principles, rather than being enslaved by fleeting desires or external circumstances. The path to self-mastery is not an easy one. It requires deliberate effort, reflection, and the courage to resist societal pressures and distractions. However, it is the cornerstone of a virtuous and tranquil life. How external noise undermines self-mastery. In the modern world, external noise comes in many forms: social media, advertising, peer pressure, and the constant demand for attention. This noise encourages impulsivity, emotional reactivity, and conformity. It tempts us to seek short-term pleasures, compare ourselves to others, and react hastily to challenges. Seneca warned against being swept away by the opinions and actions of the crowd. In letters to Lucilius, he writes, "You must know that it is no easy thing to retain self-control when you live among people who are out of control. The external chaos pulls us away from our inner stability and makes it harder to maintain mastery over ourselves. Disappearing from the noise, even temporarily, creates the space needed to regain control. It allows us to pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully rather than reacting instinctively to external triggers." The role of reason in self-mastery. Reason is the Stoics' most powerful tool for self-mastery. It enables us to examine our emotions, identify unhelpful patterns, and make decisions aligned with our values. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminds himself to act according to reason rather than emotion, writing in Meditations, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment." This insight highlights the Stoic understanding that we have control over our responses, even if we cannot control external events. Through reason, we can choose not to be ruled by anger, fear, or desire, and instead act with virtue and clarity. Practical steps to cultivate self-mastery. Practice emotional regulation. The Stoics believe that emotions themselves are not inherently bad, but unchecked emotions can lead to irrational actions. When faced with a strong emotion, pause and ask yourself, is this within my control? How can I respond virtuously? By creating this space for reflection, you strengthen your ability to master your reactions. Embrace voluntary discomfort. One of the Stoic exercises for building self-mastery is to deliberately expose yourself to discomfort. This might mean fasting, waking up early, or practicing silence. As Seneca writes, set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself, is this the condition that I feared? These practices help you become less dependent on external comforts and more resilient in the face of challenges. Focus on internal goals. External noise often shifts our focus to outcomes that depend on others, wealth, status, or approval. The Stoics teach us to redirect our attention to internal goals, such as improving our character and living virtuously. By prioritizing what you can control, you strengthen your sense of autonomy and self-determination. Daily reflection and journaling, reflecting on your actions and thoughts at the end of each day, is a powerful Stoic practice. Ask yourself, did I act according to reason? Were my actions aligned with my values? Marcus Aurelius used journaling as a way to cultivate self-awareness and reinforce his commitment to self-mastery. Cultivate a clear sense of purpose. Self-mastery is easier when guided by a clear sense of purpose. Define what matters most to you. What virtues do you want to embody? What kind of person do you want to be? When you have a strong inner compass, external noise loses its power to distract you. The benefits of self-mastery. Achieving self-mastery brings numerous benefits, both practical and philosophical. It fosters a sense of inner stability, making you less vulnerable to the ups and downs of life. You become less reactive, more intentional, and better equipped to handle challenges with grace. From a Stoic perspective, self-mastery is also a pathway to freedom. When you control your desires and emotions, you are no longer a slave to external influences. This freedom allows you to live in accordance with reason, pursue virtue, and find peace regardless of your circumstances. Self-mastery is a lifelong journey, but it is one of the most rewarding paths a person can take. By removing yourself from external noise and focusing on what you can control, you create the conditions for true inner strength and autonomy. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. By practicing self-mastery, you align yourself with the Stoic ideal of living a virtuous, rational, and tranquil life, a life where you are no longer controlled by the chaos around you, but guided by the clarity within. Reason number 4 promotes emotional resilience. Emotional resilience refers to the ability to recover from setbacks, adapt to challenges, and maintain a sense of inner calm amidst adversity. For the Stoics, this trait is essential for achieving tranquility and living a virtuous life. Marcus Aurelius writes in Meditations, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Stoicism teaches us that external events are neither inherently good nor bad. Rather, it is our judgments about these events that cause emotional distress. By cultivating resilience, we learn to detach from these judgments and remain steady in the face of life's uncertainties. How external noise undermines emotional resilience. The constant noise of modern life. Social media, news cycles, and societal expectations feeds emotional reactivity. It encourages us to compare ourselves to others, react impulsively to events, and become entangled in the opinions of others. This creates a cycle of emotional volatility, making it harder to maintain balance and composure. Seneca observed that much of our suffering comes from being overly concerned with things beyond our control. He writes, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. The external noise amplifies these imagined fears and anxieties, leaving us vulnerable to emotional turmoil. Stepping away from the noise creates space for reflection and equips us with the tools to build resilience. the Stoic approach to emotional resilience. The foundation of Stoic emotional resilience lies in distinguishing between what we can control and what we cannot. Epictetus emphasizes this in the Enchiridion. Some things are up to us, and some things are not, by focusing only on what is within our power. Our thoughts, actions, and choices. We free ourselves from unnecessary emotional suffering. Stoics also practice apatheia, a state of being unshaken by passion or extreme emotions. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions, but rather mastering them through reason and self-awareness. Emotional resilience is not about becoming indifferent, but about responding wisely and calmly to life's challenges. Practical Stoic practices for building emotional resilience. Practice the dichotomy of control. When faced with a challenge, pause and ask yourself, is this within my control? If it is, take deliberate action. If it is not, release it. This mental shift reduces emotional reactivity and helps you focus on what truly matters. Engage in negative visualization. The Stoics often practiced premeditatio malorum, or the visualization of potential challenges. By imagining worst-case scenarios, they prepared themselves emotionally and mentally for adversity. This practice strengthens resilience by making us less shocked or overwhelmed when difficulties arise. Develop a rational inner dialogue. When emotions run high, engage in a rational inner dialogue. For instance, ask yourself, what is the worst that could happen? Am I catastrophizing the situation? This approach, advocated by Marcus Aurelius, helps reframe challenges and restore a sense of calm. Create distance from triggers. Emotional reactivity often stems from overexposure to external triggers, such as negative news or toxic relationships. Take deliberate steps to reduce exposure to these sources of stress. Solitude and reflection provide the clarity needed to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Embrace voluntary hardship. Building resilience requires practice. Engage in small acts of voluntary hardship, such as fasting, cold showers, or moments of silence. These exercises teach you to endure discomfort with grace, making you more prepared to handle larger challenges. The role of perspective in resilience. The Stoics understood that perspective is key to emotional resilience. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminds himself to see challenges as opportunities for growth, writing, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This mindset reframes difficulties not as obstacles, but as tools for strengthening our character. By adopting this perspective, we shift from being victims of circumstances to active participants in our own lives. Emotional resilience becomes a skill we can cultivate through deliberate practice and reflection. Benefits of emotional resilience. Building emotional resilience brings profound benefits. It allows us to remain calm and focused in crises, recover quickly from setbacks, and maintain a sense of purpose despite adversity. For the Stoics, resilience is not just about surviving difficulties but thriving in them by using reason and virtue as a guide. Resilience also fosters inner peace. When we detach from the noise of external events and focus on what we can control, we experience less anxiety, fear, and frustration. This creates a sense of stability that aligns with the Stoic ideal of ataraxia, or freedom from emotional disturbance. Promoting emotional resilience is central to the Stoic way of life. By stepping away from external noise and focusing on what is within our control, we strengthen our ability to face challenges with courage and composure. As Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Through practices like the dichotomy of control, negative visualization, and reframing our perspective, we can build the resilience needed to navigate life's ups and downs. In doing so, we not only protect our peace, but also live in harmony with the Stoic ideal of wisdom and virtue. Reason number 5, fosters inner peace. For the Stoics, inner peace, often referred to as ataraxia or freedom from emotional disturbance, is a primary objective. Inner peace is not a state of indifference or apathy, but a calm and resilient state of mind achieved through understanding and living in alignment with nature and reason. Marcus Aurelius writes in Meditations, people look for retreats for themselves in the country, by the coast, or in the hills. But there is nowhere that a person can find a more peaceful and trouble-free retreat than in his own mind. This profound insight highlights that true peace is not dependent on external circumstances, but is cultivated internally through self-discipline and rational thought. How external noise disrupts inner peace. In our modern world, external noise is relentless. Social media, constant notifications, societal pressures, and the 24/7 news cycle can leave us feeling overwhelmed and unsettled. This external chaos creates a sense of urgency and anxiety, pulling us away from the stillness that fosters peace. Seneca, in Letters to Lucilius, advises, you ask what is the proper limit to a person's wealth. First, having what is essential, and second, having what is enough. This applies not only to material wealth, but also to the information and distractions we allow into our lives. By constantly consuming external noise, we lose sight of what is essential and struggle to find contentment. Stepping away from these distractions is the first step toward creating a quiet space where inner peace can thrive. When we limit the influence of external forces, we allow ourselves to focus on what truly matters, our values, virtues, and the things within our control. The Stoic principles that foster inner peace. The dichotomy of control. Inner peace begins with understanding the Stoic principle that some things are within our control and others are not. Epictetus teaches, it is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them. By focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, we free ourselves from the turmoil caused by trying to change the uncontrollable. Living in harmony with nature. Stoicism emphasizes aligning our lives with the natural order of the universe. This means accepting life's ebb and flow and recognizing that challenges and setbacks are inevitable. Marcus Aurelius advises, accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs. This acceptance leads to a profound sense of peace as we stop resisting the inevitable and learn to flow with life. The pursuit of virtue. The Stoics believed that living virtuously is the key to lasting peace. When we act with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, we align our actions with our highest values. This alignment eliminates inner conflict and creates a sense of harmony within ourselves. Practical steps to cultivate inner peace through Stoicism. Practice solitude. Regularly withdrawing from the noise of the world provides an opportunity for self-reflection and renewal. Seneca reminds us, withdraw into yourself. As far as you can, use this time to reflect on your thoughts and actions, ensuring they align with Stoic principles. Develop mindful presence. The Stoics emphasize the importance of focusing on the present moment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, confine yourself to the present, dwelling on the past or worrying about the future disrupts inner peace. By anchoring yourself in the now, you can experience a deeper sense of calm. Simplify your life. Complexity and excess can be sources of stress. Simplify your environment, commitments, and desires. As Epictetus advises, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Reducing unnecessary distractions allows more space for peace to flourish. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful Stoic practice for fostering inner peace. Reflect daily on what you have and the lessons life has offered, even in hardship. Recognizing the abundance in your life shifts your focus away from what you lack and cultivates contentment. Reframe adversity. Instead of viewing challenges as threats, see them as opportunities for growth. Marcus Aurelius suggests, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This mindset transforms obstacles into stepping stones, reducing frustration and increasing resilience. The benefits of inner peace. Cultivating inner peace through Stoicism has far-reaching benefits. It allows us to navigate life's uncertainties with calm and confidence. We become less reactive, more deliberate, and better equipped to handle adversity. Inner peace also strengthens our relationships as we approach others with patience and understanding, rather than agitation or anger. From a philosophical perspective, inner peace is the foundation of a virtuous life. When we are no longer distracted by external chaos or internal turmoil, we can fully dedicate ourselves to living in alignment with reason and virtue. Fostering inner peace is both a goal and a result of practicing Stoic principles. By stepping away from the noise of the world and focusing on what we can control, we create the conditions for stillness and calm to emerge. As Marcus Aurelius so aptly puts it, nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions than your own soul. Through the practices of solitude, gratitude, simplification, and reframing challenges, we can cultivate a deep and lasting peace. This peace, rooted in Stoic wisdom, becomes a guiding light that helps us navigate the complexities of life with grace and tranquility. Reason number 6 helps you focus on what you can control. The cornerstone of Stoic philosophy is the distinction between what is within our control and what is not. Epictetus opens his Enchiridion with this simple yet profound idea: some things are up to us, and some things are not. What is within our control? Our thoughts, emotions, choices, and actions. What is beyond our control? External events, the opinions of others, and the outcomes of our efforts. Recognizing this distinction is liberating. It allows us to channel our energy and attention into the things we can influence, rather than wasting it on factors outside our grasp. However, this clarity is easily lost when we're bombarded by external noise, social media, endless news updates, and societal expectations. Disappearing from the noise helps us refocus on the areas where we hold true agency. How noise distracts us from what we can control. The modern world is full of distractions that pull us away from our locus of control. Social media encourages us to compare ourselves to others. News outlets amplify problems we cannot solve. Advertisers manipulate our desires, convincing us to chase things that don't align with our values. This constant external stimulation creates a sense of helplessness and overwhelm. We expend mental and emotional energy on things we can't change, leaving us feeling powerless. Seneca warns against this in Letters to Lucilius. You are not harmed by external forces, but by your own estimate of them. The noise isn't the issue. It's our reaction to it. By retreating from external distractions, we reclaim our focus and energy. We create the mental space to prioritize what truly matters, our actions, choices, and growth. Practical Stoic practices for focusing on what you can control. Identify your sphere of control. When faced with a challenge or decision, take a moment to ask, what aspects of this situation can I influence? Focus your efforts there. For example, if you're dealing with a difficult person, you can't control their behavior, but you can control your response. As Marcus Aurelius writes, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Practice the discipline of assent. The Stoics emphasized controlling our judgments about events. This practice, known as the discipline of assent, involves pausing before reacting to external stimuli. Instead of automatically labeling an event as good or bad, evaluate it rationally. Epictetus advises, don't let the force of an impression when it first hits you knock you off your feet. Just say to it, hold on a moment. Let me see who you are and what you represent. Reduce external noise. One of the most effective ways to focus on what you can control is to limit exposure to unnecessary distractions. Consider reducing time spent on social media, avoiding sensational news, or simplifying your environment. This doesn't mean ignoring the world, but choosing to engage with it on your own terms. Cultivate mindful awareness. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for staying grounded in the present moment. When you focus on the here and now, you're less likely to be consumed by worries about the past or future, both of which are beyond your control. Marcus Aurelius encourages this in Meditations. Confine yourself to the present. Set internal goals. External goals, like achieving recognition or gaining wealth, depend on factors outside your control. Instead, set goals based on your own efforts and values. For example, aim to act with kindness, improve your skills, or maintain integrity. These are within your control and lead to lasting fulfillment. The benefits of focusing on what you can control. Freedom from anxiety. Anxiety often stems from worrying about things we cannot influence. By focusing only on what is within our control, we reduce unnecessary stress and find greater peace. Seneca observes, "He who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." Improved decision-making. When we focus on controllable factors, we make better decisions. Our actions become deliberate and aligned with our values, rather than reactive or influenced by external pressures. This clarity helps us navigate life's challenges with confidence, strength, and resilience. Life is unpredictable, and setbacks are inevitable. By concentrating on our response to these setbacks, we build resilience. As Marcus Aurelius states, you have to assemble your life yourself, action by action. This mindset empowers us to adapt to adversity with grace. A sense of empowerment. Recognizing your sphere of control shifts your focus from helplessness to empowerment. You may not control every situation, but you can always control how you respond. This realization fosters a sense of autonomy and self-determination. The ability to focus on what you can control is a cornerstone of Stoic wisdom and a path to lasting tranquility. Disappearing from the noise of external distractions allows you to reclaim your mental and emotional energy, redirecting it toward what truly matters. By practicing the dichotomy of control, embracing the discipline of assent, and setting internal goals, you cultivate a mindset of clarity and strength. As Epictetus teaches, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. This approach not only brings peace, but also helps you live a life aligned with reason, virtue, and purpose. Reason number 7, build self-awareness. For the Stoics, self-awareness is the foundation of a virtuous and fulfilling life. It is the ability to observe your thoughts, emotions, and actions with clarity and honesty. Without self-awareness, it's impossible to align your life with reason or live in harmony with Stoic principles. Epictetus reminds us of this essential practice in the Discourses. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. This quote underscores the need for reflection to understand who we are and what we value, followed by intentional action to align with those values. In today's world, however, self-awareness is often drowned out by external noise. The constant barrage of notifications, opinions, and societal expectations leaves little room for introspection. Stepping away from the noise creates the mental and emotional space necessary to reconnect with yourself. How external noise hinders self-awareness. External distractions divert our attention outward, leaving little opportunity for inner reflection. Social media encourages comparison, the news amplifies fear, and advertisements exploit our insecurities. These influences make it easy to lose sight of who we are and what truly matters to us. Seneca warns against this in letters to Lucilius. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Without self-awareness, we drift through life, reacting to external forces rather than steering our course with intention. The noise not only distracts us, but often leads us to adopt values and goals that are not our own. By disappearing from this noise, through solitude, reflection, or moments of mindfulness, we can turn our focus inward and begin the process of self-discovery. The role of self-awareness in Stoic practice. Understanding your inner state. Marcus Aurelius emphasizes the importance of examining your inner world. In Meditations, he writes, "Look well into yourself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if you will always look." This practice involves identifying your thoughts and emotions, understanding their origins, and assessing whether they align with reason and virtue. Recognizing faults without self-judgment. Self-awareness also means acknowledging your flaws without falling into self-criticism. The Stoics believed that recognizing where we fall short is the first step to growth. As Seneca advises, let us examine our thoughts. It will be evident that there are many things in them deserving of censure. This examination should lead to improvement, not despair. Clarifying your values and goals. Without self-awareness, it's easy to adopt the values of society rather than living by your own principles. Stoicism encourages reflection to define your values clearly. Epictetus instructs, know, first, who you are and what you are capable of. This clarity allows you to live authentically and purposefully. Practices for building self-awareness through Stoicism. Daily self-reflection. A key Stoic practice is the nightly review of your actions. At the end of each day, ask yourself, what did I do well? Where did I fall short? How can I improve tomorrow? Seneca describes this practice, writing, "When the light has been removed and my wife has fallen silent, I examine my entire day and go back over what I've done and said." Journaling. Writing down your thoughts and reflections helps clarify your emotions, beliefs, and intentions. Marcus Aurelius's Meditations is essentially a Stoic journal, a space where he examined his inner world. Use journaling to explore your motivations, question your judgments, and solidify your understanding of Stoic principles. Silence and solitude. Spending time alone and in silence allows you to listen to your inner voice without distraction. This practice, advocated by all Stoics, helps you uncover your true self and assess whether your actions align with your values. Mindfulness of judgments. Pay attention to the judgments you make throughout the day. Epictetus advises, when you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger. Observing your immediate reactions reveals the patterns of your mind and helps you challenge unhelpful habits. Voluntary discomfort. Engaging in acts of voluntary hardship, like fasting or enduring physical discomfort, can reveal your emotional and mental tendencies. These moments test your character, showing where you need to grow in self-discipline or resilience. Benefits of building self-awareness. Living authentically. Self-awareness helps you clarify your values and live in alignment with them. Instead of conforming to external expectations, you live according to what truly matters to you. This creates a sense of purpose and integrity. Improved emotional regulation. By observing your emotions and their triggers, you become better equipped to respond with reason, rather than reacting impulsively. This aligns with the Stoic ideal of apatheia, or freedom from being controlled by passion. Personal growth. Honest self-reflection allows you to identify areas for improvement and take deliberate steps toward becoming a better version of yourself. As Seneca states, no man can have a peaceful life who thinks too much about lengthening it, or believes that living through many consulships is a great blessing. A life of quality comes from consistent improvement, greater inner peace. Self-awareness quiets the internal conflict that arises from acting against your values. When your actions, thoughts, and beliefs are aligned, you experience a profound sense of peace and stability. Building self-awareness is at the heart of Stoic practice. By stepping away from external noise and distractions, you create the space to observe your inner world. Through practices like daily reflection, journaling, and silence, you uncover your true self and align your life with reason and virtue. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Self-awareness is the starting point for this transformation, a tool that enables you to live authentically, regulate your emotions, and grow into the best version of yourself. Reason number 8, strengthens discipline. Discipline is one of the central virtues in Stoicism, and it is seen as the foundation for living a life of reason, purpose, and virtue. To the Stoics, discipline isn't simply about self-control or willpower. It is the ability to consistently act in accordance with reason, to live intentionally, and to make choices that align with our values and goals. Epictetus, in his discourses, highlights discipline as essential for achieving the Stoic ideal of eudaimonia, flourishing or living in accordance with nature. He writes, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Discipline is the tool that allows us to maintain this freedom, enabling us to control our responses, our actions, and ultimately our life's direction. Stepping away from the noise of the modern world, which often tempts us toward distraction and indulgence, helps us strengthen this key Stoic virtue. In a world filled with constant distractions, returning to the core principle of discipline can steer us back toward living a focused and intentional life. How external noise undermines discipline. External distractions, whether they be the pull of social media, the endless stream of entertainment, or societal pressures to conform, dilute our ability to stay disciplined in our actions. These distractions often promote instant gratification, convenience, and indulgence, rather than fostering the long-term commitment and self-control that Stoic discipline demands. Marcus Aurelius observed the effects of external noise on his own focus in meditations, saying, "The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your soul takes on the color of your thoughts. When we allow our minds to be filled with fleeting pleasures or superficial concerns, we weaken our ability to remain disciplined and focused on what truly matters." In contrast, disappearing from this external noise enables us to prioritize our actions and cultivate the mental fortitude necessary for disciplined living. By removing distractions, we begin to reshape our environment to support the development of the Stoic virtues, including discipline. The Stoic practices that cultivate discipline. Daily reflection. A core Stoic practice is the habit of daily reflection. At the end of each day, Stoics assess whether their actions were in line with their principles. Marcus Aurelius writes, "The best way to avenge yourself is to not be like that. By consistently reflecting on our actions, we develop the discipline to stay on course, correcting ourselves when we stray from our values." This practice helps reinforce the idea that discipline is not a one-time event, but a daily, intentional choice. Each day presents a new opportunity to strengthen our resolve and make better choices. It's through this process of reflection and recalibration that we grow in our ability to act with discipline. Voluntary discomfort. Voluntary discomfort is another Stoic practice that builds discipline. By deliberately putting ourselves in challenging situations, whether through fasting, cold showers, or physical exercise, we strengthen our resilience, and ability to endure hardship. Seneca advises, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. These voluntary acts of discomfort teach us to embrace discipline, even when circumstances are not easy or comfortable. Limiting desires and pleasures. The Stoics believed that indulging in excessive pleasures weakens discipline. By learning to limit unnecessary desires and distractions, we gain control over our impulses. Epictetus writes, "Don't seek to have events happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do, and you will go on well." Instead of seeking external gratification, we focus on cultivating internal virtues such as wisdom, courage, and temperance. The practice of habitual action. Discipline is built through consistency. Small, positive actions, performed daily, accumulate over time and strengthen our discipline. Whether it's the decision to meditate, exercise, read, or engage in meaningful work, consistent action fosters habits that align with Stoic values. In Meditations, Marcus Aurelius advises, "What we do now echoes in eternity. Every action we take, no matter how small, contributes to the person we are becoming." The benefits of strengthening discipline through Stoicism. Resilience to temptation. Strengthening discipline allows us to withstand external temptations and internal urges. The world constantly offers us shortcuts, quick fixes, or indulgent distractions, but a disciplined Stoic knows that true happiness and fulfillment come from long-term effort and living in accordance with virtue. The ability to say no to fleeting pleasures in favor of enduring value is a hallmark of Stoic resilience. Focus on what truly matters. Discipline helps us keep our attention on what is truly important. By eliminating distractions and resisting the pull of superficial concerns, we can direct our energy toward our personal development, meaningful work, and contributing positively to the world. The Stoics' disciplined focus is not just on avoiding distractions, but on creating the conditions necessary for personal growth. A stronger sense of purpose. Discipline helps us stay aligned with our higher purpose, which, according to Stoicism, is to live virtuously and in harmony with nature. Each disciplined action reaffirms our commitment to this purpose. It becomes a cycle. Discipline leads to clarity of purpose, and clarity of purpose strengthens our discipline. Self-mastery. Ultimately, discipline leads to self-mastery. Stoicism teaches that we cannot control the events of the world, but we can control how we respond to them. By strengthening our discipline, we gain mastery over our own reactions, thoughts, and behaviors. This mastery is empowering. It puts us in control of our own lives, freeing us from the chaos of external influences. Practical tips for strengthening discipline. Set clear intentions. Discipline begins with clarity of purpose. Take the time to define your goals and values. Without a clear direction, it's easy to get lost in the noise. Establish concrete intentions that reflect your Stoic principles, such as developing wisdom, cultivating patience, or living with integrity. Create a structured routine. A well-organized daily routine helps reinforce discipline by providing structure to your day. Structure minimizes the opportunity for procrastination and distractions. Marcus Aurelius, for example, had a daily routine that involved reflection, work, and self-discipline. Having a routine that aligns with Stoic values, one that includes time for meditation, exercise, study, and service, supports a disciplined life. Embrace small, consistent actions. Discipline isn't about perfection, it's about consistency. Focus on taking small, consistent actions every day. Over time, these small habits build momentum, and you'll find that discipline becomes ingrained in your life. Monitor your progress. Just as the Stoics regularly reflected on their thoughts and actions, it's important to monitor your own progress. Take time to assess your discipline, celebrating successes and learning from failures. Regular self-assessment ensures that you stay on track and can adjust your approach when necessary. Discipline is an essential Stoic virtue that enables us to live a focused, intentional life. By stepping away from external distractions, we create the mental clarity needed to stay disciplined in our habits and actions. Through practices such as reflection, voluntary discomfort, and limiting indulgence, we cultivate the self-control necessary to live a virtuous life. As Epictetus wisely states, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Discipline is the key to self-mastery, empowering us to act in accordance with reason and pursue a life of meaning and purpose. Through disciplined living, we find freedom, not in external circumstances, but in our own ability to direct our actions and responses. Reason number 9 aligns with nature. For the Stoics, living in accordance with nature is not just a philosophical idea, it is a central tenet of their worldview. This phrase refers to the idea that human beings are a part of the natural world and should live in harmony with the universe's natural order. The Stoic philosophers believed that nature is rational, ordered, and purposeful, and that by aligning our actions with the natural world, we can achieve peace, fulfillment, and a life of virtue. The Stoics viewed nature as a rational force, logos, which governs everything in the universe, from the stars in the sky to the smallest natural processes. As Marcus Aurelius writes in Meditations, "What is not good for the beehive cannot be good for the bee." This means that each individual is a part of a larger whole, and our actions must contribute to the greater order of nature, which includes acting with reason, justice, and integrity. When we live in alignment with nature, we live in accordance with the laws of the universe and our own true nature as rational beings. This not only brings us closer to peace, but also helps us find fulfillment by living in harmony with the forces that govern our existence. How external noise disconnects us from nature. The modern world, with its constant distractions, and noise, pulls us away from our natural state. We are often overwhelmed by the demands of society, constantly chasing after material success, validation, and transient pleasures. The external world encourages us to live in ways that conflict with the natural order, in pursuit of instant gratification, competition, and the desire to control everything around us. In contrast, nature operates without effort or haste. The seasons change at their own pace, plants grow through their own process, and animals live by their instinctual nature without external interference. The natural world doesn't rush. It simply is. The Stoics believed that by stepping away from the noise of human-made distractions, we could reconnect with this natural, effortless state of being. Living in harmony with nature in Stoic thought. Understanding our place in the world. A key Stoic practice is reflecting on our place in the vastness of the universe. The Stoics emphasize the importance of recognizing that we are only a small part of a much greater whole. By considering the grand scale of nature, we can develop humility and perspective. As Marcus Aurelius writes, "You are a part of nature, so accept what is given to you." Living in alignment with nature means acknowledging that we cannot control everything, but we can choose how we respond to the circumstances we encounter. This recognition helps us cultivate a sense of gratitude for the present moment, appreciating the simplicity of existence rather than being consumed by ambition or desire. By aligning with nature's flow, we accept what comes our way with grace and equanimity. Acting with virtue is part of nature's order. Stoic philosophy teaches that virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance is in accordance with nature. These virtues are not arbitrary. They are part of the natural order of things. To live virtuously is to live in harmony with the logos, the rational principle that governs all things. Living in accordance with nature means acting with wisdom, cultivating courage in the face of adversity, practicing justice in our relationships, and exercising temperance in our desires. As Epictetus teaches, if you want to be a Stoic, aim to be like a good carpenter who cuts his wood according to the grain. This metaphor suggests that living virtuously is like aligning ourselves with the natural grain of the universe. It requires effort, but yields harmony. Living simply and naturally. Another key aspect of aligning with nature is living a simple, uncluttered life. The Stoics practiced apatheia, or freedom from unnecessary desires, and autarkia, or self-sufficiency. By limiting our dependence on external things, material wealth, status, or fleeting pleasures, we can focus on the essentials and find contentment in the natural world around us. As Seneca writes, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Living simply allows us to reconnect with what truly matters. The Stoics believed that happiness doesn't come from external circumstances, but from living in harmony with our inner nature in the natural world. By stepping away from the noise of consumerism and excess, we return to a more natural state, one that is content with the present moment and appreciative of life's basic joys. Practical steps to align with nature. Spend time in nature. One of the simplest and most powerful ways to reconnect with nature is to spend time outdoors. Whether it's a walk in the park, a hike through the woods, or simply sitting in the quiet of your garden, being in nature allows us to slow down and reflect. The natural world operates without haste or noise. It follows its own rhythms. By immersing ourselves in these rhythms, we can begin to rediscover a sense of peace and calm. The Stoics often retreated to natural surroundings to clear their minds and reflect on their actions. Seneca writes, "To live in harmony with nature is not to live apart from the world, but to live in the world with a sense of order and purpose." Practice mindful simplicity. A key part of aligning with nature is embracing simplicity. The Stoics practiced moderation in all things, focusing on what was essential and avoiding excess. In your own life, this means reducing distractions, simplifying your commitments, and focusing on what truly brings value and joy. By limiting unnecessary consumption, whether of material goods or mental clutter, you can cultivate a sense of inner peace and clarity. This practice also involves focusing on quality over quantity, whether in relationships, work, or leisure activities. By engaging in fewer but more meaningful actions, you can live in alignment with nature's balanced rhythms. Contemplate the natural world. The Stoics encourage deep contemplation of nature. By regularly reflecting on the natural world, its order, beauty, and constancy, we can gain a deeper understanding of our place in it. Spend time observing the cycles of nature, the changing seasons, the flow of rivers, or the movement of the stars. These natural processes remind us of the impermanence of life and the importance of living with virtue. Marcus Aurelius was a master of this practice. He frequently wrote about contemplating nature in his meditations, using nature's order as a guide for his own thoughts and actions. For example, he writes, "The universe is change. Life is opinion." Reflecting on this natural truth helps us accept the impermanence of life and cultivate the Stoic virtues in our own lives. The benefits of aligning with nature. Peace of mind. Living in harmony with nature brings a sense of peace. By stepping away from the distractions of modern life and reconnecting with the simplicity of the natural world, we quiet the noise of our minds and restore our mental balance. As the Stoics believed, inner peace comes from within, and aligning with the natural world helps us find that peace. Increased resilience. Understanding that we are part of a larger, rational universe allows us to develop resilience. Life will always present challenges, but by remembering that everything is part of the natural order, we can face difficulties with acceptance and equanimity. The Stoics believed that we can't control the events that happen to us, but we can control how we respond to them, and nature teaches us that change is both inevitable and part of the greater plan. Greater fulfillment. When we live in alignment with nature, we live authentically. We shed the false desires and external pressures that pull us away from our true selves and instead focus on the simple joys of life. This leads to greater contentment and fulfillment. Aligning with nature is a central practice in Stoic philosophy, offering a path to peace, clarity, and fulfillment. By stepping away from the noise of modern life and returning to the simplicity of existence, we reconnect with the natural order of the world. This alignment with nature allows us to reflect on our place in the universe, embrace the impermanence of life, and live authentically according to our true nature. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, live your life as nature requires. Through this practice, we find tranquility and a deeper sense of meaning in the natural flow of life. Reason number 10: improves decision-making. In Stoicism, decision-making is not about relying on emotion, impulse, or external influences. It is about acting in accordance with reason and virtue. The Stoics understood that clear, rational decisions are grounded in the ability to observe a situation objectively and to choose the best course of action based on wisdom, rather than being swayed by fleeting emotions or external pressures. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, frequently reflects on the importance of aligning his decisions with his Stoic values. He writes, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." For the Stoic, obstacles are not roadblocks, but opportunities to make decisions that reflect strength, virtue, and clarity of thought. In the context of modern life, where we are constantly bombarded by distractions, information, and external expectations, Stoicism provides a framework for clearing the noise and making decisions that are rooted in clarity and aligned with our long-term goals. Removing yourself from this noise creates the space necessary for sound decision-making, allowing you to act with purpose and focus. External distractions and impaired decision-making. The modern world often works against clear decision-making. External distractions, from the fast pace of daily life to the constant presence of social media and news, can cloud our judgment and lead us to make decisions based on momentary desires or external validation. When our minds are filled with unnecessary noise, it becomes difficult to assess situations from an objective standpoint. We may make decisions impulsively, based on fear or anxiety, or try to please others rather than considering what is best for our long-term well-being. These decisions are often reactive and unproductive. The Stoics recognized this tendency to act impulsively and sought to cultivate a mindset that prioritizes rational thought and careful deliberation. By retreating from external distractions, we can regain control over our thoughts and emotions, allowing us to make more intentional decisions. How removing noise enhances clarity of thought. The Stoics believed that true clarity comes from a still and focused mind. In Meditations, Marcus Aurelius writes, "Take a moment to reflect and separate what is important from what is not." The ability to step back, assess a situation without judgment, and focus on what truly matters is critical for good decision-making. When we remove external noise, we create space for our minds to clear. In a quiet, undistracted state, we are better able to engage in rational thought, to consider different perspectives, and to weigh the consequences of our choices. This allows us to make decisions that are thoughtful, reasoned, and aligned with our principles. By retreating from distractions, we give ourselves the mental space to ask the right questions, such as, what is truly important in this situation? What is the most virtuous course of action? What decision aligns with my long-term goals and Stoic values? This approach removes the need for emotional decision-making or following the impulses of the moment, leading to choices that reflect wisdom and clarity. The Stoic practice of reflection. One of the most powerful practices in Stoicism for improving decision-making is daily reflection. Stoic philosophers such as Marcus Aurelius and Seneca made it a habit to reflect on their actions, decisions, and thoughts. Reflection provides an opportunity to assess how well our decisions align with our values and to learn from both successes and failures. Through this process of daily self-examination, we sharpen our judgment and improve our ability to make sound decisions in the future. By consistently reviewing our actions, we develop a deeper understanding of our motivations, patterns of thought, and areas where we can improve. In Meditations, Marcus Aurelius writes, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Reflection helps to refine our thinking, ensuring that our decisions are driven by rational thought rather than impulse or external pressure." Stoic virtues and decision-making. Stoicism emphasizes 4 key virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These virtues serve as a guide to making decisions that are aligned with our true nature and the greater good. Wisdom, for the Stoic, is the ability to make decisions that are in alignment with reason and the natural order. When we are able to step away from external distractions, we are better able to access our inner wisdom, which helps guide us toward decisions that are thoughtful and in harmony with our long-term goals. Courage is the ability to make decisions that might be difficult or unpopular, but are ultimately the right course of action. Removing distractions allows us to make decisions based on what is truly right, rather than avoiding discomfort or seeking approval from others. Courage helps us take bold steps toward our values, even when they are not the easiest or most comfortable. Justice involves making decisions that are fair, equitable, and aligned with the well-being of others. By eliminating distractions, we can take the time to consider the impact of our decisions on others and ensure that we are acting with integrity and fairness. Temperance is the practice of moderation, avoiding excess or deficiency. By retreating from the noise, we can more easily see where we may be indulging in excess or neglecting balance in our lives. Temperance helps us make decisions that reflect moderation, ensuring that we are not swayed by extremes or excesses in our actions. When we align our decision-making process with these Stoic virtues, our decisions become more grounded in wisdom, fairness, and moderation. They reflect a higher purpose rather than being reactive or influenced by external factors. The impact of decision-making on long-term goals. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of making decisions that align with our long-term goals, not just our immediate desires. One of the key benefits of stepping away from the noise is that it allows us to focus on what truly matters for our future well-being. In the hustle and bustle of everyday life, it can be easy to lose sight of our long-term goals. We might be tempted to make short-term choices that provide immediate gratification, but undermine our deeper aspirations. For example, we might spend time on trivial pursuits or take on obligations that are not aligned with our core values. However, the Stoics teach that true happiness and fulfillment come from making decisions that are in line with our long-term goals, such as living virtuously, cultivating wisdom, and contributing positively to the world. By retreating from distractions and creating space for reflection, we can more easily assess whether our decisions align with these deeper goals and course correct if necessary. As Seneca writes in his letters to Lucilius, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Wise decision-making involves using our time and energy in ways that will support our long-term well-being and lead us to a life of virtue. Practical Stoic strategies for better decision-making. Pause and reflect. Before making important decisions, take a moment to pause and reflect. Rather than reacting impulsively, take time to assess the situation, consider the potential outcomes, and weigh your options carefully. Marcus Aurelius advises, don't give yourself up to the pleasure of the moment, but use reason to guide your actions. Practice the dichotomy of control. The Stoics taught the importance of recognizing what is within our control and what is not. When making decisions, focus on what you can control, the choices you make, your actions, and your responses, and let go of concerns over things that are outside your control. This approach simplifies decision-making, helping you focus on what truly matters. Use the view from above. The Stoics practiced a mental exercise known as the view from above, where they would imagine seeing their lives from a larger perspective, as though they were looking down from above. This helps put situations into context, allowing us to make decisions based on the bigger picture rather than getting lost in momentary worries. Consult your values. Always refer back to your core Stoic values when making decisions. Ask yourself whether the decision you are about to make is in line with your virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. This will ensure that your decisions are grounded in your deeper values, rather than being swayed by external influences. Improving decision-making is one of the many benefits of stepping away from the noise of modern life. By retreating from distractions and creating space for clear thinking, we can make decisions that are grounded in wisdom, virtue, and long-term goals. Stoicism offers a powerful framework for making decisions that are rational, intentional, and aligned with our core values. Through the practices of reflection, virtuous living, and the cultivation of mental clarity, we can sharpen our decision-making and lead lives that are purposeful and fulfilling. Disappearing from the noise isn't about rejecting the world, but choosing how to engage with it. By embracing silence and intentionality, we live closer to Stoic virtues, cultivating clarity, discipline, and peace. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. If you found this video valuable, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might benefit from these Stoic principles. Let us know in the comments how you incorporate silence and stillness into your life. Remember to step away, reflect, and live with purpose.